Hi guys, it's indeed my pleasure and ATA's pleasure to have Maaret as our esteemed keynote speaker for the fifth edition for of Global Testing Retreat 2020. It's ATA GTR 2020. Maaret, I don't think needs any introduction, but just to let few of the guys know who probably would not know her in India, she is awarded as the most influential agile testing professional person 2016. She has been listed as 100 most influential in ICT in Finland by TV 2019. And she is an avid speaker. She has delivered 400 sessions. She comes with the 25 years of exploratory testing under her belt. She is, I think, one of the best in this entire segment of things that we're talking about. Inspirational to all of us who know her and who are following her on Twitter and LinkedIn. A warm welcome to you, Maaret, for being with us.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure being here.
Yeah, great. And guys, let me ask Merit about her topic, which is building status, or why none of my advice will work for you today. So, Merit, would you be able to give a little glimpse about that without spilling the beans to us, please?
Yes, of course. Uh, Recently, I've noticed after 25 years in the industry that when I ask for things just magically happen. I ask for people to review pull requests faster and they get reviewed faster. I ask for people to test better and find more bugs and they do that. And at the same time, I've had this experience of working with someone who just started with the industry and they try doing the exact same thing, just ask and nothing happens. And having this chance of comparing the magic of I just ask and them asking and not getting what they're asking for, I've learned quite many tips on how I can both move some of my status to others, but how people who don't yet have the kind of status that makes things just happen, how they can build some of that prestige that helps you get things started and changed in organizations. So that's what I will share on.
Very nice. I think this would be one of the most interesting and a very different out of the box topic, which probably will open up a lot of our eyes and the way that things can be done. Looking forward to it, Barrett. Rather than going into deep into testing, we just want to understand, Barrett, that other than testing, so we keep on hearing a lot of stuff that you do, a lot of innovations that you are doing, a lot of sessions that you take, a lot of speaking that you do. Is there anything other than testing that is your passion? We know that testing is definitely a passion.
Well, there's plenty of things in the world that are my passion. I kind of think humanity is in some way my
Wow.
passion. So even though I do focus on testing a lot, there's the overarching theme of people being able to live their world without the pain of buggy software. That's kind of why I like testing.
Yeah.
But also this idea of kind of like figuring out what is it to live a happy human life. So figuring that out in various ways is definitely a passion. So I like reading a lot from various authors and trying to kind of figure out how other people are approaching the same kind of subjects. And of course, spending time with family, whatever it ends up being, whether it's artwork with my children or whether it's some kind of like trying a new hobby with them. That's
Wow.
also something that I enjoy doing.
So it's indeed wonderful to know about your social philanthropy work that you're doing and also the artwork. One question that we all want to ask is what is the real reason that you have been able to achieve so much success, Merit?
I keep having people ask me this, and I
Yeah.
wish I knew the answer. You know, it would be so easy if I, just could get on that stage and tell you that you do this, here's the recipe, this is how you get that done. But I think the way I have approached this generally is that I try different things, I experiment. I don't plan too much because when I spend time on planning, then it's away from doing. So kind of like a continuous stream of doing all kinds of things, then paying attention how I feel about those things and not only how the world feels about them. Because again, I can have an impact on my happiness and my satisfaction and my own future, whereas other people's happiness and the value that they find in my work, it either follows or well, my unhappiness is never the thing that I would sacrifice to be popular otherwise. So I think getting there, it's just a long-term journey. 25 years is a long time,
Yeah.
and I don't think I've ever done anything big. It's just little streams, but many little streams make quite a big bundle of things over time.
Yeah, and I think that is wonderful. Like you were actually telling us, keep on doing little sprints and little improvements on day-to-day basis, and obviously that is inspiring enough for everybody of us to keep on following what you want and don't plan too much. Like keep on
I
doing
have
things on a regular. Yeah.
yeah. I have one piece of advice, at least I think for this audience. I find in LinkedIn a lot of people from generally the Asian area, they reach out to me asking if I would have a job. If you actually want to have a job, reach out to people asking if they would like to have a conversation.
Yeah, I think
So
that is wonderful.
always approach with curiosity, always approach with the idea that it doesn't matter if they can't help you with your immediate goal, but the kind of intermediate goal of you learning with someone else. It's creating those connections that creates the magic that we usually want to see in our own personal success in our careers.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marit. I think this would be a great advice. Hopefully, a lot of people will be watching this interview, and obviously, they are waiting for you to your session as well. Another one that we want to understand is see the testing and the technology is moving so fast, and it is basically moving in all very heavy technology side of things. So, as a tester and as a advice to the testers, what do you think they need to do to keep on swimming in this new life or new sea where things are so changing so fast?
Uh, I sometimes wonder if things are really changing that fast. Like, of course, we've made big achievements in the IT industry, but testing actually looks very similar still these days. The
Yeah, yeah,
integrated systems might be a little bigger, but it looks very similar. There's just more of it. So
yeah,
definitely the size of the industry is growing, and that means we can do a lot more different kind of software. But especially looking at some of the frustration around, for example, Selenium and different programming languages, I'm noticing that some of the challenges of there's so many new things coming come from the fact that we learn the technology as if it was kind of like a language where there's a
yeah,
syntax and there's semantics, rather than learning the next level abstraction up, the
yeah,
concepts. And for me, one of the helpful things over years, I didn't know that I needed to learn this, was to think of programming around polyglot programming, rather than focusing on the languages, focusing on the concepts that different languages allow me to do. And I see the very same pattern in the testing tools and the testing technologies or technologies, the target of testing, that industry, kind of understanding in which box you can put them, what are similar and how they're different from the ones you've already seen. Uh, Over time, that helps you build a mental model that makes it feel like the changes are actually incremental rather than radical.
very true. In fact, that is going to calm down nerves of lot many testers who are a little scared. So I think obviously we need not be scared. Things are not that changing, and I completely agree with your thought that as far as the concepts are there and as far as things are taken incrementally, we don't need to be scared that much. Merit, on a different note, have you been to India by any chance?
Yes, I have a few times.
And how has been your experience? Do you want to come back again? And what do you like most
Oh,
about this place?
last time I was there, I was with my daughter, and it's the best conference trip I've ever been on. I had a local friend, Pooja, who was taking me around with my daughter for shopping, showing us different places and letting us experience Bangalore from the eyes of a local. And it was absolutely delight. Like the people are so friendly and nice, and again, you have sunshine there right now.
Yeah.
I would be happy to get some of that here in Finland.
Yeah, maybe next time if we get out of this virtual scenario, it would be a pleasure to have you with us physically. And if we can plan it out like that, it would be really wonderful to have you visit Pune, or maybe we can organize it in a different place altogether and let our all the audience also experiment with new places around. So great. And just to also let us know, with reference to this virtual world, how is Finland taking it up? Is it basically opened up, or is it still into the remote working scenario that at least in India we are experiencing right now?
It's definitely the same here, closing in and staying at home and working remotely.
Oh,
Pretty
okay.
much the same. And right now they're still thinking again of closing schools and doing remote teaching for kids as well. So
Oh,
right now kids are allowed to go to school, but
yeah,
the higher levels of education are now again kind of moving back home because it's picking up a little bit. Well, there's hope now in
yeah,
the vaccines that
yes,
we would eventually be
yeah,
allowed to be a bit more free. But I think there's been also a lot of positive twists around this having the chance of being at home and working from
yes.
home. I've learned a ton on pair programming over the internet again
Wow.
because
Yeah,
I've had a chance of practicing that,
yeah,
and I've learned a lot also on this kind of like, well, I've been able to contribute more to the world, let's say that way, because I have 2 extra hours every single day because I don't have to commute. So it's like somebody gave me a gift of 10 extra hours a week, and I can do magical things with that.
agreed, agreed, Maaret. So there is huge positives in that. In fact, I am thinking of moving from Mumbai to my hometown just because we can work remotely. Never could have imagined that there is a better chance of working in a place which has got a better air, better environment, and I think that is a great positive. Completely in agreement with that. I wish that we can still have the advantage of people working from home, even though we go physical later on. So this might be a norm. What do you think? This would the life change? Even if we get back to the normal, do we expect that people will still get a chance to keep on working remotely?
I think the main issue there is trust.
Yeah,
If we managed in our organizations to build that trust, not just in the immediate team, but in the
yeah,
larger management towards the results that we can achieve this way, then we'll probably continue like 3 days remote, 2 days local, maybe.
yeah, yeah. Well,
I
a
think
hybrid
people
model might
will
come.
miss the face-to-face time and
Yeah,
want to have some of that, but I think majority will remain remote even after this period is over.
very nice. And maybe one last question for you, Merit. I guess you mentioned about that you read a lot. Any specific like a book that you would like to recommend us that we should be reading? Which is your favorite, rather?
I think still overall, my favorite book so far has been, well, it's called Crucial Conversations.
Okay.
So it's really about the idea of how to have a conversation where both parties are present and what are the indications and threats to that flow of information between two people happening. So how do you keep that connection ongoing so that you're able to learn more from whatever encounter with people you have?
Awesome. I think we will definitely, I will order that, Merit, and I'll probably go through that. Thank you so much for that small piece of information that you shared. I think thank you so much for your time. We wanted to keep it very short, and we are looking forward for your wonderful session going ahead. And really, really welcome you to this year's Global Testing Retreat. It's indeed a real pleasure for all of us to have you with us. Thank you so much, Merit.
Thank you.
Yeah.